Hello, I'm John Persinos, Managing Director of Personal Finance and its parent website, Investing Daily. The hard copy of your latest issue of Personal Finance, the March 27 issue, is now in the mail. The online version will be available on Investing Daily on March 22nd. Here are the highlights of the newsletter. It's not quite a replay of the glory days of the late 1990s. However, with major stock market averages hitting new highs and investors pulling cash from money funds, the market's mood is ebullient. The Dow Industrial Average has now bested its late 2007 high. In our first article, Roger Conrad scours America's storied and most cited stock barometer, the Dow Jones Industrial Index, for bargain stocks. He also points out the likely booby traps. He found plenty of both. In the second article, Ben Shepard shows how investors who give short shrift to India are missing opportunities for outsized gains. With 1.2 billion people, India accounts for nearly 18% of the world's population. By the middle of the next decade, it will overtake China as the world's most populous country. Largely thanks to that huge and growing population, India is now the fourth largest economy in the world. But the Indian equity market hasn't been drawing much attention lately. Ben unearths some good Indian plays now. In the third article, Ari Charney explores an auto salvage company with a commanding market share that's set to soar as the auto industry rebounds and consumer spending picks up. In Growth Track, I show you how to partake in the market's recent hot streak without getting burned. Despite consistently dour developments from Washington, the markets lately have soared on cheerful economic news. Federal austerity appears to be in a tug of war with private sector strengthening. Investors feel optimistic but whipsawed. Against this economic and fiscal backdrop, I explain that the most prudent course of action is to focus on large-cap consumer goods, information technology, and health stocks that are less vulnerable to unexpected political shocks and the market's ups and downs. In Income Report, Roger Conrad spotlights the latest earnings reports from our income recommendations, and he's happy to report that they stacked up well in their fourth quarter and full year 2012 earnings reports. In Fund Focus, Ben Shepard explains how fund investors should play the Dow's new heights. With the Dow Jones Industrial Average breezing past new highs and the S&P 500 not far off, all eyes have been on growth stocks and higher beta plays. However, even as they've struggled against the generally weak consumer spending environment both here and abroad, consumer staple stocks have quietly outperformed both the benchmark indices so far this year. He looks at the best fund in this sector now. In Article Update, Kwa Nguyen reviews India, How to Play the Pullback, which was published in the March 9, 2012 issue. While these companies have not outperformed, they have produced positive gains on average. Kwa gives us the update on these recommendations made last year. We still see potential in these picks as India's central bank implements new stimulative policies, which include lowering interest rates and opening some previously off-limit sectors to foreign direct investment. And in On the Money, I write about Washington's fiscal follies. I provide you with a no-nonsense analysis of what federal budget sequestration will mean for investors. Because underlying Wall Street's cheer is a case of the jitters, courtesy of Washington's perpetual budgetary squabbling. Political gridlock has spawned sequestration, the automatic triggering of $85 billion in across-the-board federal spending reductions that are bound to impede the U.S. economic recovery. As with the previous fiscal cliff crisis, sequestration's deadline for compromise came and went, and the world didn't immediately end. Now, nervous investors are waiting to exhale. What should we make of good economic news that's alloyed with alarmist headlines about austerity? I explain it for you. It's all in your latest issue of Personal Finance, dated March 27. Enjoy your newsletter, and please don't hesitate to provide us with feedback. Our #1 mission is to help you make money.